What is up YouTube? Water sports enthusiast Jason with Wakemakers here, and today we're going to show you how to launch your boat. So whether you're new to boating or not, hopefully there's some good tips that you can pick up from this video, help make the process go a little bit smoother, a little bit easier, less stressful, less chaotic, and not be that guy at the ramp that's making life hard for everybody. So stay tuned, we're going to walk you through it. So step one when it comes to launching your boat is just to take a look at the launch ramp. If you're new to this launch ramp especially, it makes sense. Check out the flow, see what other people are doing, figure out where you can park and where you can't park without jamming stuff up. Usually there's a designated prep area where we're parked right now. That's great for getting everything ready, but just take a second to kind of get a lay of the land. Once you know what you're doing and you're ready, first thing I like to do is get everything prepped. So that means moving any gear that you've got in the truck, any coolers, any boards, life jackets, any of that kind of stuff, get it in the boat. Get anybody that's with you that's gonna be riding in the boat. It's just way easier to have everybody in the boat already so that you're not having to try and do that on the dock. And then from there, you're ready to start prepping the boat. I like to have a routine to make sure that I do the same thing every single time in the same sequence. It just helps to ensure that I don't forget something, like putting the plug in. So for me, what that looks like is I'm gonna take off the rear straps on the back of the trailer to get that loosened. This trailer on this 2019 G23 has a secondary tie down at the front, so I'm gonna take off the secondary tie down so it's still connected with the winch. And then in the boat, I'm gonna go ahead and either myself or the individual that's driving the boat is gonna put the plug in, get the battery turned on, all the prep work that needs to be done. Again, this boat has a motorized tower that we fold down for trailering, so they'll put the tower up, they'll get all the boards and the board racks, do all that work so it's all done and ready while we're just kind of hanging out in the prep zone, whether we're waiting for somebody else to do their thing or just getting it all ready before we put the boat in the water. So once you've got everything prepped, then next step is get the boat in the water. And this is where having somebody that's trained in one role or the other, whether you're driving the truck and they're driving the boat or vice versa, makes life a lot easier. If you're driving the truck, pretty simple. What we're gonna do here, we're gonna pull forward and we're gonna back the boat in, right? But if you're not used to backing a trailer up, this can be a little bit intimidating, and it's definitely something that is worth practicing. One quick tip for you though, if you're struggling with backing up a trailer, is put your hand on the bottom of the steering wheel, and then whichever direction you turn the steering wheel is the direction the trailer is going to go when you're looking in the mirrors. So it avoids you having to do the back over your shoulder thing. You can just use your mirrors to safely back up, and if you need to move the trailer over to the left side a little bit, just twist your hand over on the steering wheel, move the steering wheel over to the left a little bit. So it really helps to short circuit that learning process and give you confidence when you're backing up the trailer. As far as depth goes, every trailer, every launch ramp is a little bit different. What we're shooting for is a water depth that allows the boat to float off the trailer, but not be free floating where it's going to be moving all over the place. And that will also ensure that the raw water intake for the engine that's cooling the engine is fully submerged so that the engine can be operated safely without risking damage to their water pump impeller. So if you're driving the boat and you've just come off the trailer, what next, right? So two things that you need to be aware of. One is, what's the situation of the dock look like? Are there a bunch of boats tied up? Is it congested? Are there a bunch of boats coming in and out? So obviously just have awareness. The other thing, especially if you're new to inboards, because they don't really back up very well and they're always going to tend to back in one direction based on the rotation of the prop, is just to make sure that you're taking that into consideration. This boat, for example, has a left-hand rotating prop. It's going to back to the right. And so if I'm backed in alongside the dock and the stern of the boat is swinging into the dock, that's something that I need to be aware of, or it's just going to get real tight. So be aware of that. It just makes life a lot easier if you have a plan before you put the boat in the water that you can execute. So hopefully those tips help you get your boat in the water easier, make for a less stressful day at the lake. That's the whole point. If you like this, subscribe, give it a thumbs up. We've got more content coming soon, so stay tuned.